What is happening today? We are going to drive the M1000R Carbon Edition. Let's go. All right, so here we are, demo days. Very excited about this drive. We've got a 2024 M1000R. And this bike has all the bells and whistles. Yeah, granted, it's not the double R, but it's pretty good. Carbon fiber, like, to a disgusting degree. I mean, there is carbon fiber on everything. Complete fender, side wrap, back fender, even some accents on the top of the tank. But this bike is tuned up and ready to rip. I mean, this is an awesome bike. What do I like about this bike so far? Just with aesthetics go, it's your naked bike. I mean, there is some fairings on it, but pretty much everything's exposed. BMW rips it out with their 998cc inline-four, transverse mounted. So the power plant's just absolutely incredible. It has a very large radiator and an oil cooler. So it's designed to be wound up, and it's got the goods to keep it cool. On the front, we've got battle axe, again, being utilized in almost all of their brands now. And we have a 17-inch tire with dual M-series brakes that are made by Brembo. A hidden feature on this bike is the steering stabilizer that's tucked underneath the little custom headlight assembly that they have. And you can see it is the M Edition. Now, unfortunately with this one, this is still a halogen bulb just because of supply chain shortages, but I guess they're swapping them out for LEDs on a dealer program. Again, a little carbon fiber deflector on it. It's got these bat wings on it, which I'll talk about on the ride. And the front turn signals act as marker lights as well. So that's kind of cool. You've got your standard BMW display, which has a little bit of an adjustable. Actually, this one does not adjust. So this is a fixed position. If I adjust it, it only adjusts once, right? But this is your standard display. We'll go through that on the ride as well. And we'll also talk a little bit about the billet options that the M series levers go with. And these are also adjustable. Everything on these is metal. So it's nice quality. It's actually quite nice quality. A couple other things too. BMW has perfected the quick shift, so we'll show you how that works, but these bikes do a very good job with that. And nice touches on this billet foot pegs, billet shifter, just classy, very classy. The back of this has a little storage compartment that they put on the R bikes, not really designed for passenger, but I guess you can swap this out and put a little pillion seat on it. And they have the rear foot pegs obviously down there for that as well. This is a chain drive. You can get the endurance chain on these, which allows you to have a little bit longer longevity out of it, but it's still a chain, still needs to be adjusted and all that stuff. This comes factory, this edition, with an Akrapovic exhaust, but it's super quiet. Like that, look at the resonator on that, and a cat. And it's interesting how they do this because these are all titanium. So you can see the bluing. This is titanium from the factory. So that's an option you don't often see on bikes, right? Right from the factory. Your rear brake set, again, and this is all machined aluminum. You can see it's very, very nice. And your rear set here as well is adjustable. You can see there's an adjustment if you want to bump it up or down just a little bit. You've got your standard sight glass, which they use on pretty much all their models as well. These bikes are super easy to maintain. The oil filter is right up underneath, so you can do it very easily in your own shop, and just a nice bike. Smaller profile, you're in like the Speed Triple style Gixxer size. All those bikes are just neck and neck, but I'll tell you, this bike is a rocket ship. Let's take it for a ride, shall we? And this time I'm not wearing riding boots. Whoa. Hey, what's up with these bat wings?
Downforce.
Oh, is that why? Ugly. I love the color scheme. Carbon fiber with black, and the decals are clear coated on.
You're on the bike that I both most want to ride and least want to ride.
Oh, come on! Don't be a baby. Here we go. So this is really a rocket ship. They don't have the double RRs, or the double Rs I should say, here for demo. It's too dangerous. And they only let certain people ride this. I don't, like, they had to go in the trailer and get clearance. If I could ride it, I was like, oh boy. But I got it, so here I am. So this is your inline-four. These are just absolutely incredible bikes, and I really am in love with this color scheme. Mine is my XR is white, and I wish it was this black color. Wow, so nice. We've got quite the leaned over position on this bike. Here we go. Yeah. This is definitely the reason why I could not own one of these bikes. Because I would die. There is so much power in this bike. It's insane. And it's got the quick shifter. You're really tucked up into the bike. The platform on this is very small and you're hunched over. There's no protection from the wind. It's just completely naked. And actually it's quite comfortable. The seat on this is even more comfortable than my XR. Quick shift works both up and down. Now I will say one thing about this bike, immediately noticing, and this is a complaint that a lot of people that ride these bikes say, that there is a tremendous amount of vibration in the handlebars, a tremendous amount. It's not even, I mean, it's no joke. You can feel it. The vibration is also transmitted into the seat. If I cut this down into lower RPMs like cruising range, the vibration almost disappears. I can still feel it on the seat and my buttocko, but sitting here like this, we're at 4,500 RPMs. Cruising speed, actually, it's manageable. But if you go down a few, and I'll do the quick shifter to show you how fluid it is, and you're up in the power band area, because these bikes really need to wind, you can feel it. It feels like you're riding a weed whacker. You put aftermarket exhaust on this thing, and this bike screams. Absolutely. BMW with these bikes, they like to put you hunched over so that your downward force and aerodynamics, you're leaning over. As far as a long ride goes, this is cumbersome on the wrist, but again, this is not a touring bike. This is a race bike. This is what you want to take, you know, for your quick rip to the store, what you want to go out and flog. The brakes are tremendous on this bike. Oh my word, this guy. Wow, he almost just dumped that bike. There we go. This bike is actually quite quiet with the factory exhaust. It's very, very, very stealthy. And as far as, we'll say, flickability goes, this bike is absolutely ready to rock. It almost has a pedal bike balance to it. I mean, it feels like nothing. There's absolutely no delay in any shifting of your weight. Very lightweight. You only really need like 3 gears in this bike because it redlines at 14,500 RPMs. Craziness. I will tell you, this bike, for being such a sport rocket bike, actually the suspension is very comfortable. Very comfortable. I mean, there's some pretty good bumps on this road, and really, you don't feel it. You don't feel it at all. Unfortunately, they closed the back of the racetrack down, which is where we used to be able to bring the bikes up to speed and really crack them open, and we can't do that anymore. So I'm hugely disappointed because I really wanted to just see what this bike could do. In fact, I was anticipating this test ride for weeks to be able to do that, but I digress. They won't let us. Couple things too I'm just noticing about this bike right now, as far as just from the cockpit goes. I think BMW did a pretty nice job with the styling. The levers are billet. Of course, this is the M edition, so it's supposed to have all the trinkets, but I'm really disappointed in the Toyota Camry looking brake reservoir with rubber hose. I feel like they could have done something better than that. My GS has a billet aluminum with a cap on it, and I mean, that looks super slick, so I'm not sure why they would cheap out on that. It's just all plastic and everything. You could do what the Gixxers do and put like a sock over it, but I mean, I think that's kind of cheapening this bike. This is a premium offering. The other thing is these bat wings that they have up front. These provide downforce, so the bike handles better, but they look so dumb. Go right into first with the quick shift on this too, from a stop, which is kind of cool. And this bike is absolutely an animal. Absolutely. First gear, anything over 4,000, it's asking for a spanking. That's what it's doing. And because this is the race edition, obviously you can adjust your traction control, and if you go into the settings on this, they have the sport section, so you can dial down and you can actually change the display. And I believe if you go sideways, you even get a different display where you can do lap times, and even yet another display option that allows you to display through the power band. So again, like 4,000 up. And in this mode, in the sport mode, you can actually change the dynamic traction control percentages. So that's kind of nice if you want to dial back the traction control just a little bit so it's not as aggressive. It allows you to be very fluid. The other thing I really like about this, and again, just comparing it to my XR, you have a lean angle sensor that actually allows you can see it right down here, it actually allows you to see where you're leaning. And if you record yourself when you're at a track day, you can go back and you can see through a recording where you were in a turn or an apex if you're trying to get really good at something, and you can train yourself to be a better rider. So I've done that a few times on my bike. Not that I'm always into track mode, but I do enjoy trying to be the best I can be. One other thing too, just briefly about this bike that I really enjoy is the ability. They have buttons for your traction control. You can turn things off with the tap of the switch, or you can go into a more technical menu and dial it precisely. So that is also a bonus in my opinion. The levers are adjustable as far as your stroke goes. This has a cable clutch, which is common on these bikes, and obviously hydraulic brakes, because everybody has hydraulic brakes, right? The clutch on this is very positive engagement too, and I just wish this lever was a little bit more solid. It seems like it's pretty chintzy, but again, this is a demo bike with 4,000 miles on it. If this was someone's bike that wasn't a demo bike, this would probably have 100,000 miles on it, so it's lived a pretty hard life. The suspension on this bike is electronically fully adjustable with dampening goes as well, as BMW does with most of their bikes now, and that is fantastic because that allows you to dial in a more comfortable road ride, or just with a push of a button, set it up for more weight, stiffer suspension, more ripability. Voiceover Pete time. Hey, Voiceover Pete here. Man, I'm telling you, this has got to be one of the funnest bikes to ride, but the most dangerous. And before you say, hey, why weren't you doing wheelies and backflips on this thing? Again, a speed camera and a police officer just in the short video, and I've got the guy with the fluorescent orange jacket on there babysitting me. So yeah, I apologize, but let me tell you, when I say this bike is fast, this bike will scare the pants right off of you. 208 horsepower at 13,000 RPMs, 83 foot-pounds of torque at 11,000 RPMs. The bike is a manimal, and it's ready to go. BMW even advertises a max speed at 174, but there's tunes out there to push it over 200. Those bat wings actually do put about 25 foot-pounds of force down on the front tires, and that's why you're hunched over the front tire as well, to have a more dynamic feel, but also to help with handling. This bike wants to come up on you, so BMW does what it can to keep it from doing such. The bike is also very lightweight, 438 pounds as I rode it today. So that is almost a dirt bike style ride. It's very small. Yeah, awesome bike. Let's get back to the action. The brakes on this bike are really, really, really robust. Of course, if you're going to go fast, you got to stop, and I am a huge brake fan, so I think BMW got it on real good with these brakes. The rear ABS is a little aggressive. I chomped down on the pedal just to see what we were like a minute ago, and I was like, yikes. But the front, I mean, easily 1 to 2 finger, and I think that's a big upgrade from from last year's bike. Got a Harley in the way of progress. You can feel this bike get violent around 8,000. I mean, it just wants to explode. And you can feel the front end come up, but BMW puts that dynamic roll control on here, so if it feels that you're going up into a wheelie, it retards the accelerator just a pinch, which is a nice safety feature for these bikes. You can turn it off. You can turn off wheelie control. But you're just in the launch position, and this bike wants to rip. I think BMW has really perfected the art of the quick shifter too. Really, they've done a fantastic job. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this brief spirited ride on the M1000R. I apologize that we weren't able to get it on the strip like previous years, but I still get a good feel for this bike. I mean, this would be a speeding ticket probably within a week if you buy it, but it is a fantastic platform, fantastic bike. It's very comfortable. I don't feel anything really jammed up too bad. Based on the type of bike that you're buying too, you know, you would anticipate a little bit more crunch up, but this bike is fantastic and it looks awesome. It looks awesome. So thanks again for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. Do you have one of these bikes? Have you ridden it? What's your thoughts? Let me know. And we'll catch you on the flip side. As always, ride safe.